agus we're gate fáilte.
And to you in the quiet of home, a very warm welcome as well to Up for the Match ahead of tomorrow's highly anticipated final between the Banner
and the Mighty Rebels. Tonight we're going to bring you colour and fun. Are you neutral tonight, Liz?
No.
No?
I'm not sure. I'm Clare, so...
Last year, you were Donegal.
That was last year.
And the year before that, you were Kerry, was it?
No, Dublin the year before that. Kerry was the year before. No, Clare stock, Clare blood, the Clare Cahals. So there we go.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the way it is. I'll be totally neutral to the Cork people. I have one friend from Cork.
You won't have any anymore. What about the effort that our audience have made to get here tonight? Some of them have earned huge air miles just to be here.
Where? From Shannon?
No. We have people here from Canada. Who's here from Canada?
How
are you? Australia. A lot from Australia. And Arizona.
Arizona.
Well done.
Well, you're very
done.
welcome. And Rory has come all the way from Singapore. Where are you, Rory? How are you? When did you get in?
This morning, about 7:30.
Oh, Lord.
And when are you going home?
Monday night.
Oh, my God.
You'll nearly be as long in the plane as you are in the country.
Pretty much. Works out about 200 miles for every minute of the game tomorrow. So.
Not that you're counting.
Joking, yeah.
Don't count. You worked it.
Well, I hope you're still in the game with about 1,000 miles to go. Good to have you here.
You're very welcome, all of you. And later on, we'll be giving you details of how you can get your hands on what we are saying are the very last pair of match tickets. And, of course, the customary limo in our special viewers competition. And that's courtesy of our friends in Etihad.
It'll be great. But to get the party started with a very special performance, please welcome, all the way from Clare, Sharon Shannon with special guest, the Eugene Donlan School of Set Dancing. absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Sharon Shannon and the Eugene Donlan School of Set Dancing. So that gets us off to a great start, doesn't it?
Indeed it does. Des, you'd have to say, the atmosphere is fantastic, isn't it?
Brilliant, yeah.
It's been... It has been an amazing and a very unpredictable hurling championship this year.
Yeah, but that's what I loved about it, the highs and the lows and the surprise. It was great. And this is what they've all been striving for.
Presenting us with the Liam McCarthy Cup. Will you
Your
please
first
give
glimpse.
a warm welcome to Uachtaráin Cumann Luachlas Gael, Liam O'Neill. Céad fáilte Uachtaráin. We were just saying it, what an unpredictable and exciting year. We were trying to remember one that was more exciting. We couldn't.
Well, I can't remember one in my lifetime, and that's over 50 years. So, yeah, fantastic year. You didn't know what was going to happen next. The quality of hurling was great. We had new counties coming through. Everything we would want in ocean hurling.
Indeed.
Obviously, you're neutral now, but some of the days, there were some special days, weren't there? Dublin and Limerick came through. Was there any one match? We had the Saturday night games with so much drama. Anyone stand out for you?
I suppose the Kilkenny Tipperary one was the really outstanding game. That was the one that really excited the whole country. People couldn't believe they were getting that sort of a game at that stage in the championship, and that somebody had to lose. That was that gave great excitement. But I have to say that 10 years ago, would anyone have believed that Dublin would beat Galway in a Leinster final? You know, it's just amazing the way things have come about.
Reminder again. No, but it was great. And that Limerick could come back in their minors and seniors and Munster final day. So
the Munster final day was a fantastic day for Limerick. I was fortunate enough to be down in Limerick visiting schools in May for the Féile, just doing promotional work. And I felt the buzz. They played Kilkenny in the pitch opening, and the buzz around the county was just fantastic. And it was great to see them coming through, and such excitement.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, look at... May tomorrow finish the season off perfectly.
Indeed.
And good luck to you in presenting the cup.
Thanks very much. We're looking forward to a fantastic final.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
And it's funny, we didn't mention Cork and Clare and all of that, but ladies and gentlemen, fáilte Uachtaráin Cumann Luachlas Gael, Liam O'Neill.
Well, whether it's the mighty Rebels or the Banner who are victorious tomorrow, a place in the final is hard won. The journey to Croke Park tomorrow has not been an easy one.
Ball breaks down past Pat Organ on the turn, and that is going over the bar again. Here's Ritchie, brilliantly stopped by Anthony Ness. Oh, what a save again! The Rebels may have lost the Munster final, but they have knocked Kilkenny out of the championship. David Tracy bearing down and going, kicks. It's a goal for Dublin. Gary Maguire comes off his goal line, but it's a goal for Cork. All-Ireland semi-final is over. Cork are on their way back here.
Get ready, 'cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now.
There's a place in the semi against Limerick at stake. It's McGrath! Lynch strikes him inside the 45-metre line and puts it over the bar. It's Clare, and they're looking good. And winners they are. And the second battle gets underway. And Tony Kelly puts it over the bar. All the way in. Collins, goalkeeper on the ground. It's a goal. And they're on their way to the All-Ireland final. But Clare and Cork will be back here on the second Sunday in September.
We still have the final to come. Right then, just before we meet our first guests, and you're going to enjoy them, with details of tonight's competition for you at home.
Yes, we've teamed up with Etihad Airways, proud sponsor of the GAA Hurling All-Ireland Senior Championship. Now visit etihadgaa.ie and find out how your club can win a year's Etihad sponsorship package. To mark this, we're giving you at home the chance to win a VIP trip for you and a friend to tomorrow's All-Ireland Hurling Final.
Yeah, you'll be collected tomorrow from wherever you are in the country by Etihad Chauffeur Drive, transported to Croke Park. You'll get tickets to the big game, an overnight stay for two at the four-star Burlington Hotel, €3,000 spending money, and the limo. So, for your chance to win the lot, answer this question.
Clare is commonly referred to by which of these nicknames? Is it the Banner County, the Tribesmen, or the Cats? If you think you know the answer, call 15 16 71 71 51 or text the word match followed by your answer and name to 57117. Viewers in Northern Ireland can also text to 57117 or call the number on screen. You must be over 18 to enter. More details are on rte.ie/competitions. Lines will close at 10:50 p.m. tonight, and the lucky winner will be announced towards the end of the show. So stay tuned for that.
OK, then it's time to meet our first guests tonight. I know they're going to get a big welcome. From Cork, the big man himself, Diarmuid O'Sullivan. From the Leinster champions Dublin, Ryan O'Dwyer. And Clare legend, Jamesy O'Connor.
You think there was going to be a ball thrown in now?
It's a lonely place, Ryan.
I'm the referee. Thanks for that.
Jeremy, they're going to come to you first, and this is a question that I've wondered about for a while. The Rock. How does a man come by a nickname like that?
I'm not too sure, Grania, to be honest with you. I'm not 100% sure where it came from either. I have been told it came through Micheál, a commentary in a game at some time or another. He made a reference to it, and I think it kind of stuck from there. Don't ask me when or what game it was, but I think
it's an honour.
It was an honour,
yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. You know, to be christened that by a man of that stature, you know.
It's led to other nicknames, though, hasn't it? In the family.
Oh, in the family, without a doubt. I thought you were just talking about me.
There's a few names.
They call me a lot of things at home.
Family show.
Oh, God.
What are the brothers' nicknames?
Oh, do I have to?
You do.
Well, Paddy's known as Bubbles. A lot of people call him Pebbles, but we call him Bubbles. Owen is Palm. Colin is Barney. And my favourite is Donald. We call him Stark.
Why Stark?
You know the way Stark basically stands on one leg. So when he was a young fella when he was hurling, we'd puck the ball to him. One leg would come up. He controlled the ball, so he's controlling the ball basically standing in one leg. So I think it was actually Paddy came up with it. So they can be fighting amongst themselves now and deciding who embarrassed who along the way, I suppose.
Well, James, I don't know where the names have come from, but maybe now, when we were chatting about it earlier, I said to Grania, maybe this was the reason. This is a famous point that you'll remember that Diarmuid scored. We can have a look at it now and see it. It's an unbelievable score. Ryan, have you ever had the pleasure of running into him?
Or, bouncing off him.
Yeah, once when I was playing with Tip, came up against him, but I didn't get close enough to him. But then I think it was the following year we played him in the Kilmacud Sevens, and I think we started the game. I was full forward in one team, he was full forward in the other team. We were just talking about it there earlier, and he scored a goal. First touch of the ball, scored a goal, and I got the curly finger go back on him. So I think he scored about 4 more after that.
All right. Well, Jamesy, this is fantastic for everybody from Clare. And I find this hard to believe. You know, to me, it's not long ago since you were starring for Clare. But you're teaching in Flanders now, but you've taught some of the lads who are playing.
I have, actually, yeah.
Who's the brainiest of them?
The brainiest of them. I have to say Colin Ryan. Colin Ryan's a teacher now at the moment, you know, so I give the nod to Colin Ryan. Pat Kelly was okay as well, actually, you know. I won't say anything about Tony Kelly, but I actually, it's funny, like, I mean, Tony repeated the Leaving Cert 2 years ago, and I actually had him for economics, and I'd say about maybe 6 weeks into the year, doing nothing, hurling every hour God sent, and you're kind of having the chat with him, saying, Tony, you know, you need to focus, whatever, and forget about this hurling and park it and the rest of it. So, but look at, they're grounded guys, they're dead sound, good lads. And I suppose there's probably 15 Flanders guys on the panel. I think there's 5 starting tomorrow. About 15 in the extended panel. So the connection is still there, and it's
What about
great.
special treatment if you're making the team? Well, you're saying somebody repeated there, so maybe that answers that question.
Well, it's funny, in the olden days, I mean, you know, when Flanders was a boarding school, I mean, the boarders were royalty. I mean, they were fed better. You know, all these other things, that perks that the regular boarders that weren't in the Harty team would be envious of. But I suppose the boarding is gone now. John Connon, I'd say, actually was one of the last waiver boarders in the school, you know. But
he's not the reason they stopped the boarding.
He's not the reason they
No.
stopped. No. But no, listen, the tradition, you know, is still there, and long may it continue.
Yeah. Dermot, there's been so many great games, as we said, and possibly, arguably, the semi-final between yourselves and Dublin was one of the great ones, and the sending off was a big talking point in that one. But it was a great game. Ryan, for you, I'm sure have you got over the trauma of the sending off?
Yeah, like you just have to get on with it. There's no point in mulling over something like that. You just have to get on with it, and I suppose
we can have a look at it while you're talking. But
you're okay.
You don't have to look.
I suppose when tomorrow's match is played and over and done with, that'll make it easier. For the last couple of weeks, everyone you talk to seems to want to talk about hurling, and the one thing that they bring up is, oh, what if? Well, you know, it wasn't. So, you know, you just get on with it and just use it as motivation for next year. Say, well, I don't like going out the way I did, so, you know, just get on with it.
Well, last Sully there, let's have a look at it. Was it harsh in your view?
I'd have been disappointed if I got a yellow.
Yeah, okay. And that's what it was, second yellow. What happens? It was a great game, though, wasn't it?
It was for hurling people. It was a spectacle. The first 35 minutes, you know, with a score after 3 seconds in the game. Yeah. You know, everything first 35 minutes. If you were to advertise the game of hurling, you know, the intensity, the ferocity, the scores, you know, the speed of the game. It had everything that 35 minutes had. Hopefully tomorrow's game, being the biggest game of the season, will eclipse that. But if you were ever to show a young fella something for 35 minutes, sit down and show him a game, that 35 minutes from this season alone would definitely be standout, you know.
Well, that's something for you, at least, Ryan, you know, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to hear that you're associated with a great game like that. Like for me, growing up, the best game for me would have been, I think it was the 2004 Munster final between, you were playing, like Waterford. Cork and Waterford. That was, for me, that had everything. Like one of my heroes growing up would have been Ken McGrath, and like he was outstanding that day. And just the match, every minute of it was just, it had something unique about it.
Hard to find whistle.
Hard to find whistle.
It wasn't great, no.
To have a match that I played in up there ranking with that, you know, it's a bit of an honour, apart from the outcome, but it's a bit of an honour. Yeah.
But there's always next year. Jamesy, you scored the winning point in All-Ireland. Any lad, whoever picks up, oh, come on. Dreams about playing in an All-Ireland, but to score the winner is something else.
And a minute from the end, under the Hogan, the pressure was on.
It gets further out every year.
Maybe we shouldn't show it to you.
Yeah, no. Listen, it's right or over stuff. You know, it's what you dream of. And it's funny actually, because I mean, I actually drifted across the pitch, and Liam Sheedy was actually playing me back for tip, and Liam pulled on the ball, and I actually thought I'd missed it. It went behind me. He kind of topped it, and it brought to Colin Lynch, I suppose, and he fed it out to me, and you know, the rest is history, I suppose. So, but Davey made a great save after that. You know, John Leahy had a chance to put it in, and Dalo actually still takes the credit for not putting it out for 65. I think he managed to put it out for or steer it to safety. But
he fell over it, didn't he?
Well, he claimed he steered it to safety, and I think he ended up with a line ball. But I mean, I suppose over stuff.
And in terms of in '95, when Clare won it for the first time since 1913. Did you appreciate at the time as a young fella, because you were only 20, you're mid-20s, weren't you?
22, I suppose, yeah, 22, 23.
Did you appreciate the enormity of it for Clare people?
The Munster final was all we ever spoke about, Des. I mean, we'd been hammered in 2 finals in 93 and 94, so that was the key. And I think Loughnane deserves massive credit, because I mean, we as players would probably have settled for that. And the county would definitely have settled for it. I mean, we hadn't won a Munster title in 63 years. But in fairness to him, I mean, he saw the bigger picture there. He saw there was a glorious opportunity. And he got us back down to earth very, very quickly. And like the county had gone mad. I mean, the hype is, I think, a lot more low-key this year, which is great for Clare. But we just, I suppose, really focused on the task in hand. And he was excellent at keeping us grounded. And we probably lived in fear of him at the time as well. So he deserves huge credit, as I said, for not
scaring you that much.
For scaring us into it, yeah, effectively, yeah.
Wow, and changing your attitude.
Yeah, well, it was funny, because I remember that we toured the county with the cup, in I suppose the 3 days after. And I think we were in Tubber, I think on the Wednesday, the Wednesday morning or whatever. And
Tubber on the Wednesday morning.
Tubber on the Wednesday morning. And we were up in the
Yeah.
articulated truck in the middle of the village, and suddenly, and you have a long day ahead of you, and suddenly I looked and the parish priest was over there shaking a bottle of champagne, and so I took evasive action, and headed for the back of the truck and sure he let it rip, but sure lads were
That's what it means to everybody.
drenched for the day. But that kind of stuff happened, and it was fantastic. But we trained again the Thursday night, and I think Loughnane. We trained maybe again the Saturday. We were playing a practice match. There was no pace now. You could see a man boiling in the middle of the field, fuming at this, whatever. And he blew the whistle after about 10 minutes and into the dressing room and tore strips out of us. And after that, I think we were pretty grounded and pretty focused.
But Dermot, then you won your first All-Ireland with Jimmy Barry Murphy in charge.
Yeah, it was a wonderful occasion, Des, but I think, to actually appreciate what we'd achieved was the defeat, unfortunately, to Kilkenny in the 2003 All-Ireland final. We were still young. There was a lot of us young at that time, 19, 20 years of age. This is going to happen every year, But we were, we're crest of a wave. Every year we're going to be going to Croke Park. We're young. We can all play hurling. We're full of confidence. But it didn't happen that way. And until 2003, and the defeat to Kilkenny, it made us realise, how hard it was and how special it was to achieve what we had under JBM.
Do you think you need to lose to appreciate the win?
Personally, I would, Granny, went to something that big, There's a lot of good guys gone who don't have them, Myself and James, you're very privileged to have them, And until as I said, my own personal opinion, until I lost it, it didn't make me appreciate what I had.
Ryan, maybe for you it'll make you next year.
One out here.
Yeah.
Well, you have a Leinster medal, I don't.
And a verdict. The neutral verdict comes from Ryan.
Who's going to do it tomorrow?
I think a day, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I want my place next year. So. If you'd asked me a couple of weeks ago, I'd have said very confidently Clare. As time is getting closer to the game, I'm still saying Clare, but that margin is getting narrower. You look at a team with Jeremy Barry Murphy over it. First of all, they've their homework done about the opposition. They've a game plan in place. They've an exceptional, talented bunch. But I think what might just edge it for Clare is every one of them have played in an All-Ireland final. I know it's under 21, but every one of them have played. Every one of them know what it feels like to win. Now, it might go back to the thing that you need to lose one to win one, but every one of them knows what it feels like to win, what it takes to win a final. And I think that might just stand to them on the day, but I'm going back to Jimmy Barry Murphy. You can't rule a team that he's over out.
At your peril, certainly, yeah.
Have you seen a final? I've never seen a final like it where it is too close to call. Nobody really wants to come down on one side or another, apart from you, Kraut.
Yeah, well, that's what's going to make it such a good final, I think. But in terms of the lads being involved in big occasions, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what it's like for the players before they come out onto the pitch, so we can show you.
Team buses make their way around the service tunnel, and this is where the nerves will really start to hit the players. The dressing rooms are identical to each other. There's no difference in them at all, and the players will come in and they'll get themselves settled. The Banish store, any tough decisions to make just before the game, they have their own private meeting room so they can have a quiet word with the selectors or with any players. And then they go into the warm-up room, maybe for a few final minutes of preparation, whether it's physical or mental, and then they go out on a walk that some players only ever get to do it once, some never get to do it. The walk out to Croke Park on All-Ireland final Sunday.
Nothing beats being there. Okay, we have got somebody in the audience that would like to talk to Tom Nash, who's Anthony Nash's dad, playing tomorrow, of course. Where are you, Mr. Nash? Hello, you're very welcome. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling okay tonight. I'm enjoying your programme.
Well, you say all the right things. Come here. We were chatting earlier. I was reading. How many hurleys does Anthony bring out into the goal with them?
Well, all I can tell you is he takes a selection.
Yeah.
Tell them nothing.
Yeah, no,
Tell them nothing.
Well, I was going to say he takes 2 or 3 that I know about.
I was reading he takes 8 or 9 of them or something, but sure,
Well,
that's
it
all.
should be at least that.
Would it?
Yeah. Because he takes a couple of hurleys out for the defenders as well in case they have
of course,
a broken hurley or for the penalty taken, you know. So
And
he
of course,
disguises a lot of them that way.
I know. But you're steeped in the Limerick side of things as well, obviously, in the family.
That's right, that's
Yeah.
right. I've been very fortunate that we've had the experience of being here a couple of times with brothers of mine involved as well.
Yeah.
But as I said, we know we'll be able to handle defeat. But we're just wondering, will we be able to handle victory?
Very good, very good. Oh, we wish you well with it. Hope it goes very well for you.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Talking to Tom Nash there, Jamesy, he's a Limerick man. I didn't realise till today that you're actually a Galway man.
No, I'm a Clare man.
We're all Clare men tonight, Ron.
No, Dad's a Galway man, and I suppose we grew up in Galway, and probably the that ever happened for me. We moved to Clare in '82, and Mam's a Clare woman, all right. Mam's an American woman, but yeah, I mean, I would have grown up in Galway in the 1980s. You know, I was supporting Galway and Clare were low at the time, and my first, I suppose, big game in Croke Park was the 1987 All-Ireland final. There's one actually story. I mean, we Dad came up to the semi-final in 1981. And we all came up together, this is the 5 kids and Mum and Dad or whatever, and there was an option of going to the match or going to the zoo. So Christy went to Croke Park and I went to the zoo. He still is let's rip about that one. But yeah, I mean, Joe Cooney and Éanna Ryan.
Probably prepared you for a few of the Munster finals you played.
Absolutely does, yeah. Particularly with the Nash brothers, the full back line.
That's great. Anyway, you're looking forward to it. Can you stay calm and neutral watching it, Dermot?
Well, I suppose as a spectator, it's my first time.
Yeah.
You know, sitting on the other side in an All-Ireland final. The semi-final was tense enough, you know, because you know you've a lot of the players' family around you and family and friends and stuff. It gets tense, it gets nervous. There's times you'd wish you probably stayed at home, but look, I think we all live for the occasion. We live for the adrenaline, whether it's nerves, whether it's the excitement, the joy, whatever it brings. I think GA people generally live for that anyway, you know. And as the saying goes, nothing beats being there. You know, as much as you say, I'd like to be sitting at home, you wouldn't. You'd actually love to be there, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for joining us this evening, all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, Diarmuid O'Sullivan, Ryan O'Dwyer and James O'Connor.
Thanks, David. Now, the Banners Road to Croker is a story of small towns and villages and their GA clubs. Cratloe is one such place that's delivering a golden generation to Clare hurling.
We're on the road to Croker, just like 95. From Killaloe to Doolin, the county's come alive. We started off in Thurles, where the dish.
All the schools in East Clare and all the principals and the teachers put in a lot of work. Sometimes then just along comes a golden generation of players. That's what's happened here. We just have a very rich harvest in terms of really talented players.
Hurling to the people of Clare, it means everything. It's our life, it's the blood that runs through our veins. It's everything.
Clubs like Cratloe, Clonlara, Crusheen, Namakan and Fergus, Clare Castle, all they're the backbone of our Clare hurling at the moment.
So here in Cratloe, we're just so proud of our 6 lads.
Connor McGrath, Connor Ryan, Colin McInerney, Liam Markham, Sean Collins, Podge Collins. Fantastic to have them involved in tomorrow's match.
They have had such success at a young age, under 12, 14, 16. They don't seem to be fazed whatsoever about the big stage.
Up the banner!
We were kind of always going to matches when we were younger up in Thurles and stuff like that, and always supporting Clare, and I suppose kind of surreal now that we're playing, it's a completely different scenario.
They always loved training and playing.
We've relatively small hurling population in Clare, a relatively small number of clubs.
The great thing about Clare getting into the final, it brings the county to life.
They're all very excited over it. It's great to be in the final again after a few years, and I think they'll beat Cork.
Up the banner!
The Michael Cusack Centre is located in the heart of the Burn in Carn in County Clare, the home of the founder of the Gaelic Athletics Association, and he was born here in this cottage in 1847. Leading down to the cottage, we have 32 ash trees, one for each of the 32 counties, and the significance of the ash, of course, is that the hurley is made from ash. In 1984, we started the refurbishment, and the result has been spectacular.
The way sports got now, it's completely changed from 20 years ago where diets didn't really come into and that kind of stuff, and I suppose that's where the mammy comes in more than anything. Like,
Clare mammies are great. Washing the gear, going to matches, cleaning the booths, always there to support them. Words of encouragement, all that, they're wonderful.
you'll be always thinking about them when you're going up for the game, like all the stuff they do for you and the sacrifice they make. Like,
Windows get broken a lot and slates need replacing on a weekly basis.
when we were younger, we broke a lot more windows and slates and that, but last few years it hasn't been as bad.
I suppose it could be at worse.
We're just very lucky.
Podges had a great year this year, and one more game we can get out of them anyway.
Oh, Clare should win it by 7 or 8 points, I think.
We're on the road to Croker, boys, and Davy's got the key.
Great to see Podge there.
And the mammy.
And the mammy.
And the important, your mammy is coming up in the Cork report, I believe.
Apparently so, yeah.
Yeah, the whole
That'll be
family's
fun.
featuring.
I'm hoping we'll see Stark in it as well. But anyway.
We have a great audience here tonight, aren't you? So I think he deserves something for being so fantastic. So we have a chance for an audience member to get their hands on a pair of tickets for tomorrow's match. Now, these tickets are courtesy. These tickets are courtesy of Carroll Door and Window Depot in Cork, Dublin, Galway, and Meath. And the lucky audience member will not only be getting the 2 tickets, but also enjoy an overnight stay in Bewley's Hotel in Leopardstown. Oh. Very nice. And the winner is sitting.
This will mess up the babysitting now.
Yes, on the bed somewhere else.
Okay. There's a 4 in it, in the number. Who has a 4 in the number? You're all still in it. And a 3. It's in Block C, number 43. It's a Corkman. Oh, you can stay there. Oh, they don't know.
Are you checking?
Are you sure? Who has it? He's looking for his ticket. Stand up there. Stand up there. What's your name?
Done.
From Clyne. From Clyne. Okay, well, congratulations. You have 2 tickets to the match. Well done, eh? Great. Well, they've gone to a good home. But what about the rest of our audience? Would they like something nice too? They would. Okay. You're so predictable. Well, thanks to our friends at Tracy's West County Hotel in Ennis, we're delighted to offer you all a complimentary overnight stay for 2 at the newly refurbished Tracy's West County in the heart of the Banner. For everyone.
So enjoy.
It's as near as you'll ever get to the Late Late Show.
Well, we have a happy audience here, clearly, but for many Cork and Clare fans scattered around the world, they are with us in spirit, and they've been getting in touch with us on the show to show that despite the distance, tomorrow means so much to them. We'll see you after the break.
Hi there, I'm Emma Pine. I'm from Ennis in County Clare, and I live here in Hollywood.
Hi, I'm Lee Keneally from Milford, County Cork. Living here in Auckland now.
Hello, I'm Steve. Hi, I'm good again. Welcome to North Music Park. This is North Park. Welcome.
Come on, the banner.
Go on, the Rebels.
Come on, the banner. Woohoo!
May the best team win.
This September, 1,976 people will be cut off.
We're trapped.
From everything.
Where did it come from?
No idea.
We're on the same side here.
Yeah, for now. You don't want to do something stupid.
Are you threatening me?
You're safe now.
All new Under the Dome starts Thursday at 9 on RTE2.
Cyclists are among the most vulnerable road users, so we have a responsibility to respect their right to the road. On left turns, do not overtake a cyclist as you approach a junction. They might be continuing straight ahead. Always be aware of cyclists when getting out of your car. Use your mirrors and check your blind spots. When overtaking, allow plenty of space. Cyclists may need to avoid drains or other obstacles. When overtaking large groups, take particular care, as they may travel two abreast. When turning right, a cyclist may move to the centre of the lane. We all share the road, so respect cyclists. And always expect the unexpected.
We're the new artists, the new poets, the new players. We are the next generation. We have passion and ambition. We have potential. We are the entrepreneurs, the restaurateurs. We want to create, to innovate, to rejuvenate. We are the new Ireland.
Mom, can I keep this cute puppy?
A week with the in-laws, aren't you lucky?
How do you fold this flippin' buggy?
Can you mind my kids too?
Hi, yeah, I'll be in the office for 9.
When will you pay your extra tax?
When was your last Brazilian?
Life never stops, so you need a network that's in tune with your world. Tesco Mobile, we hear you.
Last week, my wife said she had a backache. She found it difficult to run, twist, or jump. Last week, I felt a whole lot safer. Unlike products that work by only cooling and heating the skin, Voltarol contains an anti-inflammatory which strikes at the cause of pain, providing powerful, deep-down relief. Voltarol, the joy of movement.
Choose to excite your taste buds with Asian flavours that pack a punch from Lidl. With distinctively delicious tastes of the Far East, like succulent, mouth-watering teriyaki salmon fillets, only $2.79. Our selection of wok sauces from just $1.29. Served up with egg noodles, just 89 cents. Plus a whole lot more. Available in-store Monday the 9th of September. Choose great Asian cooking at home. Choose Lidl.
The RTE National Symphony Orchestra. Music to take you to another world. Orchestral and choral masterpieces, film and family concerts. Friday nights at the National Concert Hall and other days too. Tickets from €10 with great savings on 3 or more concerts. Make Ireland's National Symphony Orchestra your weekly treat. See rte.ie/NSO.
Are you ready for more? Then get ready for the best value bundle from Aircom ever. Get home phone, super fast broadband including eFibre, and for the first time, free eMobile for 6 months with a free smartphone. All yours for just €45 a month. The best value Aircom bundle with free eMobile and a free smartphone. Call 1-800 503 303 to sign up for your bundle today.
You're very welcome back. We're going mad here, but we've a reminder of our competition, especially for you at home. We've teamed up with Etihad Airways, proud sponsor of the GA Hurling All-Ireland Senior Championship. You can visit etihadga.ie and find out how your club can win a year's Etihad sponsorship package. Now, this, we're giving you a chance to win a VIP trip for you and a friend to tomorrow's All-Ireland Hurling final.
You'll be collected tomorrow from wherever you are in the country by an Etihad chauffeur drive and transported to Croke Park, where you'll get tickets to the game. Plus, there's an overnight stay for 2 at the Burlington Hotel, 4-star, €3,000 spending money, and the limo ride home as well. For your chance to win the lot, answer this.
Clare is commonly referred to by which of these nicknames? Is it the Banner County, the Tribesmen, or the Cats? If you think you know the answer, call 15 16 71 71 51 or text the word MATCH followed by your answer and name to 57117. Viewers in Northern Ireland can also text to 57117 or call the number on screen. You must be over 18 to enter. More details are on rte.ie/competitions. Lines will close at 10:50 tonight, and the lucky winner will be announced towards the end of the show, so stay tuned for that.
We have a few great guests for you in a moment, but first, Cork is, without a doubt, a hotbed of hurling. The Rebel County has given us some of the greatest hurling heroes ever. Men like Christy Ring, Willie John Daly, and of course, the man himself, Jimmy Barry Murphy.
I'm in a privileged position to be leading Cork out, I suppose, to an All-Ireland final and being part of a team. But these unsung heroes in the background are the people I always think of, and the part that they've played. I try and respect that always, and think of the great families and the great people that went before us and that were represented. Cork hurling, to me anyway, it's part of our DNA. Growing up, what you want to do is play with Cork. Represent your family, first of all. Represent your club and your county then on the biggest stage possible if you can get to that stage.
The hurling that I was involved in was the enjoyment of playing the game of hurling.
Hurling, I would say it's the next best thing to religion in Cork.
We live and breathe hurling, and I'm sure everybody in Cork is the same, and they're even more so now with an All-Ireland final coming up.
Cork people are very passionate about their hurling and their camogie. It seems to be instilled to every man, woman and child.
All my family were involved in hurling. My grandfather and my granduncles all played with Cork, and my father, Lord Mercy, played with Cork as well. The ultimate honour is heading out into Croke Park or Thurles or Limerick, representing your county and your family.
There's a rule in our house, if anyone is to get married, they just can't get married while the hurling season is going on.
We'd be washing away their clothes, so, you know, to have the gear ready for them. We look after the players when they'd been championships, and we make sandwiches for them and have tea.
It's a family life, really.
We make flags and the bunting ready for the matches.
When Cork win tomorrow, hopefully, please God, they are winning it first and foremost for themselves and Cork, but also a very important part of it is their club. And the people behind the club and behind Jimmy Barry Murphy, they're second to none.
They just look after you as best they can and do everything for you and try and make life as easy as possible for you when you're going training and playing matches. And I suppose none of us ever played a bad game in our mother's eyes anyway.
I mean, you have how many in a panel? You have 30 in a panel, so obviously we're all in the same position. Some of them may not have 5 sons, but even if you have one, you still have to commit yourself to the one person playing, and you have to be there the whole time for them. It hurts you if they're beaten in a match, but you can't really let it show, and you feel just as bad as them.
The women, when I moved down here, used wash the jerseys for the team, and we're still do it. We take a rota. It's a great community effort. We do it for the love of the game. We do it for the kids.
I love the line from Jimmy Barry Murphy that no one ever plays a bad game in their mammy's eyes. Yeah. Well, Cork forward Luke O'Farrell, his granddad featured in that, and his mother's here in the others. Where's Jacinta? Jacinta, you look too young. How are you?
Very well, Des.
Yeah.
Very emotional, I suppose, seeing Dad and knowing how proud he is sitting at home tonight waiting to come up to see Luke play tomorrow.
Well, that's what it's about, isn't it?
It is, it is.
And when you go to a match, are you reasonably okay or do you get very nervous? No?
Unbelievably bad. The Lord's candle may be lighting under the seat tomorrow. It's come to that stage, really, you know. It's, yeah.
You'd never
you see, he's our only child, so it's like Paddy's mum had suggested. All your energies are focused on one, which probably makes it just that little bit more difficult.
Well, you've a rock beside you there, I can see that. So yeah. Well, listen, good luck tomorrow.
Thanks so
much. And thank you for joining us tonight. It's nice to have you. Now, we have 3 giants of the game to meet next, haven't we?
Absolutely. Please welcome one of the all-time heroes of Clare hurling, Shawnee McMahon. One of the true greats, Kilkenny's DJ Carey, and from Cork, a fabulous goalkeeper, and some would say the Jim Larkin of Cork. It's Donal O'Cusack. DJ, you're so welcome. Shawnee, thanks for being here.
He's a big fella, isn't he, Shawnee?
I'm a big fella.
Lads, he's going back to Clare on Monday. You'll see him there, right?
Now, Des, you know I love your style.
I woke up sexy. Yeah, go on.
But I have to say, I've been watching the Sunday game this year. And apart from the top-notch analysis of the games, the fashion choices have been really with the programme as well. And between Dermot O'Sullivan and yourself, we're talking about him now.
Right, okay.
Between Dermot in the first half, Cloyne seems to be a bit of a fashion hotbed, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, that's it. Cloyne is famous for a lot of things, but you mightn't thought that it was famous for fashion. But just maybe a good time to mention the lads down in Fitzgerald Menswear in Patrick Street in Cork. Been very good to me over there. Yeah.
They'll be better to you now. You're a big fan of Shawnee O'Mahon's, aren't you?
Yeah, Shawnee, I suppose when I was a young lad, Shawnee was, he's a couple of years older than me. I often went to see Clare playing. He was part of a great Clare team. And he was always a player that stood out for me, if you like. And over the years, then I was lucky enough to get an opportunity to play against him in some big games. And even after Shawnee's last game, Munster Championship game that he played with Clare, we'd swapped jerseys after the game. And it's actually a jersey that has pride of place in my house. And it's hanging on my wall, and I think Shawnee, he was a unique player, but he was unique for a couple of reasons. But actually, one thing I've written underneath the jersey is that in the history of the game, there was when Shawnee retired, there had only been 25 players who scored more than 100 points, and they were all attackers. But when Shawnee retired, he was just 3 points off of that, and that was something really special.
That's an honour to have your jersey hanging there, isn't it, Shawnee?
Well, it is, and
Where's Don Logue's jersey now?
It's at home, all right. But,
did you keep many jerseys out of curiosity?
Well, I would have kept would say any jersey I would have swapped, I would have kept it, because they all have a special meaning, and I suppose over the time we would have lost, would say Clare jerseys might have given away for different reasons, but certainly the days where we had great wins would certainly have kept them ones, So, but nice compliment from Don Logan, I very much appreciated, because he was a fantastic goalie himself, and for many years. And it's funny because the last couple of years playing against Cork, himself and Niall McCarthy had something going. Niall McCarthy would go this way, I'd have to go with Niall McCarthy, and Don Logue would puck it that way. So I spent the games running over and back across the field and no ball coming near me. But
you were talking about compliments there, and I've decided that you must have been Ger Loughnan's pet, because I have a quote from his book: "There are men, and then there are men, and then there's Shawnee McMahon." What do you think he meant by that?
I don't know. I think he was trying to sell the books or something. But he didn't. I wasn't always his pet in Cusick Park when the gates were closed, and certainly didn't feel like a favourite many times. But should look at real great times with Ger, and I suppose the success we had, he was central to all that. And I was delighted to be part of his team.
Those 6 o'clock training sessions, you were the first to do that. Were they central to you winning, do you think, or were they just?
I think, to be honest, a lot of that stuff at the time got blown out of proportion. I mean, if you remember, the summer of '95 was a fantastic summer, just as good as this summer. So we hope tomorrow we finish it off. But it was a fantastic summer, but it was also a very hot summer. So the 6 or 7 o'clock sessions that we used to have were on a Saturday morning. You do your session, you were finished at 8:30, had the breakfast and home, and the day was free. And you instead of training at 3 o'clock in the day in 25 degrees of heat, you got the best out of it. So, and how many of it did we do? I'd say maybe 5 or 6 sessions during the summer, and that was it. So these things grew legs as small, but as the time went on,
And what, DJ, we couldn't have up for the match without a Kilkenny man here, could we?
I think you're left over from last September.
It's certainly different. I mean, each year, or for a lot of years, we're preparing, and
really every year,
Kilkenny Club Championship games, or league games, went on today and early in the morning. So that's something completely new over the last 10 years.
Did it take a bit of getting used to?
Well, it's very unusual because obviously, you know, I was down in Clare today, and there's a massive build-up, but yet, you know, there's nothing in Kilkenny where we have had that. So, you know, it does take a bit of getting used to. But, you know, I think hurling is pretty much a winner this year and will be tomorrow.
Somebody told us that you felt Don Logue denied your 3 in a row chances in 2004. Is that right?
I'm waiting for someone to praise me now. The two
don't worry, it's coming.
Hey, DJ, just show everybody your medals.
No, but, well, you know, we were going for 3 in a row, obviously, in 2004, and the match was pretty much in the balance. I think Cork might have been a point or two up. Henry took a shot, very good shot, and Donal Logue saved it. It went up the field, and Cork got a point. I think he went 4 up. You know, so instead of us maybe going a point up or leveling the game when we were coming strong, Cork went up and I think won it pretty well from there, 6 or 7 points. So
it was actually 9 points, Dizzy. All right, 9 points, DJ.
Yeah, we always knew he was a horrible
in fairness, let me defend you here, DJ. We're looking at the records. Cork. This is bad news for Clare. Cork haven't lost to anyone other than Kilkenny in All-Ireland since 1956, which is an extraordinary record. However, Kilkenny have beaten Cork 7 times since then. That's an extraordinary record, DJ, isn't it?
Good record, yeah. I know. All I can say is I lost 3 times to him, so I wasn't involved in that
50-50,
anyway.
Yeah, I played in 4 finals against Kilkenny and won 2 in the last 2, so pretty fair enough.
Well, anyway, Clare now. And Shawnee, they're very young and they haven't shown nerves and they've looked composed. Will the young lads still be okay? They're similar age to you were in 95.
They are, I suppose, and, you know, possibly even a bit younger, I'd say, in some cases. But I think they will, because I think the last day was a real test. You know, in Croke Park for the first time against Limerick, huge swell of support for Limerick, maybe 40,000 Limerick people there, an intimidating atmosphere. And I thought of all the days that Clare played this year, it was the one day that they really played with great freedom. You know, and I think the kind of lads they are, you know, they've been fantastic so far, you know, between minors, 21s. They're a great bunch of fellas themselves, you know, they're really down-to-earth, grounded fellas, and they just love the game, and I think they're really going to love the occasion tomorrow. I think they're suited to that, and I think they've been fantastic, and I expect they'll be fantastic again tomorrow.
Right, okay. What age were you, DJ, what age were you in your first final?
My first final was 91, and
what age were you then?
I was 20.
So you'd be similar to some of them?
Yeah.
And did it affect you, or were you able for it?
It probably did, and Kilkenny had been there, but we hadn't won since 83. So there's no doubt, I mean, it's a very nervous day. I think back then, there was a much longer build-up, because you had... you really only had 4 championship matches. So semi-final, Leinster final, and then, you know, All-Ireland semi-final, there was 5 or 6 weeks to the final. So it was an absolute massive build-up, where now it's 2 or 3 weeks, you know, so it's not as big. But
do you think that's probably better for them? You don't have time to mull on things, and you're down in the county the whole time, and people in your ear. Do you think if you're busy and you're playing more matches, it probably keeps your mind off stuff?
Yeah, I think what happens is, you know, there's a huge long period, whereas now, you know, you can lock yourself away for the first week and train, you know, and then the following week, you know, maybe open it up for one night and get a few private sessions, and you're into a final. So it's much quicker, and I think it's actually much better, a lot more matches, and you know, plus the fact that I think players are seen an awful lot more now, and they're used to the crowd and used to everything that goes on.
Well, we were talking about compliments to you. I was reading that you tried to retire once. And he got 25,000 letters asking him to come back.
I think that was over-exaggerated.
That's before Twitter, that's before anything like that.
Do you know what happened? Brian Cody had the young lads in school writing letters non-stop.
I had him myself.
But that was something, that is...
Did that feel like love, or did it feel like pressure? How, you know, you had made a decision, probably, you know, one that you were happy to do at the time. It was your own decision.
One of those mad decisions in your life.
Did you regret retiring?
I probably did, because, you know, again, there's lots of pressure on, and, you know, I was trying to run a business, and, you know, if you're beaten, obviously it took an awful lot of stick, and we're amateur, and, you know, and so it was probably one of these decisions was made on the spur of the moment, and then media get involved, and it's very hard to go back on it, and we'll blame the media for everything. And
Yeah, I can see that.
you know, it's very hard to go back. But then, you know, thankfully, you know, I was asked and got the chance to go back.
But Don Logue, in your case, you wanted to go on, and it didn't happen, so that must be difficult for you this year. I mean, Don Logue's column, I don't know if you read it, it's a great column on the GA website, and that what was it, in a year it goes from being Cork captain, having your dreams, and it switches to deciding what jumper you're going to wear enough for the match, which kind of sums up the whole thing. But that must be difficult for you because you're so passionate about it.
Yeah, but like I suppose it's like every player. It's like what brought DJ back to it was probably the love of the game, and you know I was playing for Cork. I came into Cork senior dressing room in 1996. Played for Cork since I was under 14, and did get a bad injury, and you know obviously didn't want my career to finish like that. But that's life. That's these things happen. You go out one day and you think that you're captain of Cork, and the next minute you know it, you're suffering a terrible injury and your career is over. But I had great days with Cork. I have absolutely great memories. You know, the man who's taken over, Anthony Nash, has been absolutely outstanding, and you know he spent a lot of time. We had 3 goalkeepers with Cork while I was there: Martin Coleman, Anthony, and myself. And those 2 guys, I used to always say to myself when I'd leave training that I'd love if someday that they'd take over, because you know I was serious about the game, but they were every bit as serious and every bit as committed as well. It was unfortunate what happened to Martin Coleman, top-class goalkeeper, but it's absolutely great what's happened to Anthony Nash. He's grown into it, and everything that he's achieved, he's earned it.
Good. Shawnee, retirement happens to everybody eventually. But one thing you have that nobody can take away from you is fantastic memories. If I was to ask you to pick out one day from your career, what's your favourite day? Have you one?
Oh, I do, yeah. I suppose, to be honest, the 1995 Munster final was probably my favourite day. Like, you know, when we were fortunate to win 2 All-Irelands, and I wouldn't in any way mean to demean them, but like, I mean, when I was growing up, I never dreamt of playing an All-Ireland final. I never dreamt of even being in Croke Park, because Clare couldn't win a Munster final. You know, I think the Munster final in 95 was either our 10th or 11th Munster final since we last won it in 1932, and we lost them all. You know, so just to win that day was just so special for everybody, and I think we saw straight away what it meant to the people of Clare, and I think it was probably one of the reasons why we actually won the All-Ireland, because that kind of monkey was off our back and we were free and able to just have a real cut the rest of the year after that.
Yeah. There's one thing you're involved in now, and you were telling me about this in the Sunday game, this freestyle hurling to make the game more exciting for kids. Tell us briefly about that.
Yeah, well, what it is, Des, I suppose it's a concept about, you know, if you like, celebrating the kid who goes around with the hurling in his hand, who belts the ball off the wall. I was walking through I was coming through Tipperary today, and I stopped off in a shop, and there was 2 kids with a hurley underneath their arm, and I thought, like, isn't this real hurling country? And it's, if you like, it's a celebration of that, and it's a way of expressing yourself with a hurley and ball, you know, using any part of your body. And you know, since this competition was put forward, and fair play to Anúchtran, Liam O'Neill, you know, the amount of the response that we've got has been massive. Lisa Clancy and our team in Croke Park have been outstanding, and it's really a celebration of hurling.
We can have a look at it here just to give people an understanding.
Some of the skill of these young kids is quite phenomenal.
It is, and it's about just enjoying it. Let's have a look at it. It's
Cathal Coleman, 7 years old, Portray County Down.
Now you can see here, it's all about, it's fun, isn't it, John Lowe?
It's fun like this, because, you know, you'll see tomorrow, you'll see high intensity, you know, game where, you know, the competition's at its fiercest, but, you know, there's much more to hurling than that. In every town and every city in Ireland, every, you know, farm, if you like, there's kids going around and older with hurleys, and it's just a celebration of that. And half time tomorrow, we'll see the finalists, and there's going to be a pretty special show on view.
Unbelievable skill.
Yeah, there's a follow-up to it, because Des Bishop, who you all know is a great Cork supporter in his China, he has sent us this message for you.
Hi everyone, and greetings from Beijing. It's great that Donal Logue is back in the studio, showing off some skills. Here in China, it hasn't been that easy to find exactly the right clothes for supporting Cork on Sunday, but I think I found a place that has some secret skills that can give Jimmy Barry Murphy's team the edge on Sunday. 防灯牌，加油！
1-0
我认为你看很好，没问题。所以四个哈，
走几个动作。
just yeah，谢谢。
让我找一下感觉吧，看看这个适合就是哪种兵器。
That's what you want. The gospel is spreading. DJ, you're the neutral. We know Shawnee and Dunlogue want to win. Who do you think will win?
I just have a sneaking fancy for Clare.
And the reason being?
They've been very good throughout the championship. I think Cork beat them by 7 or 8 points in the championship. But I think Clare had a lot to offer and have a lot to offer tomorrow. So just have that sneaking feeling.
Okay. Well, we'll keep tabs on it as we go along.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to have them here. Shawnee McMahon, DJ Carey and Dunlogue Cusack.
Now it's time for some music. And our next guest is a proud Cork man, sure aren't they all?
Yeah.
I read in the paper that he grew up, and this is what he said, across the road and 3 houses down from Jimmy Barry Murphy.
Pretty accurate.
That's pretty accurate. That's
proud,
Google Maps there.
So here he is then, performing Life in an Irish Town. Please give a warm welcome to John Spillane.
Yes, it was. It's a lot to be for what? Yes, it wears. It wears on down. Sometimes I worry that we'll all drown. But when it shines and it does. It's the most beautiful island on God's green earth. The most beautiful island gave you birth. That's life in an Irish town, just love. Life in an Irish town. One day you're up and the next you're down. Life in an Irish town. Put on your smile, don't wear no frown. Life in an Irish town. That's life. Life in an Irish town. Yes, it rains. Dogs. Someday. Thank God. Yes, it rains. It rains. Sometimes I worry we'll be washed away. When it shines, and it does shine. But when it shines, it is the most beautiful island on God's green earth. The most beautiful island gave you. That's life in an Irish town, just love. Life in an Irish town. One day you're up and the next you're down. Life in an Irish town. Put on your song, don't drag me down. Life in an Irish town. Back life. Life in an Irish town. You gotta cool down, climb down, hold on, life in a town. down, drop down, settle down, waddle down, nice Irish town. Push down, slow down, life in an Irish town. Back down, drop down, waddle down, settle down, life in an Irish town.
The Hurling. Ladies and gentlemen, John Spillane and John's new album Life in an Irish Town is due for download release on the 13th of September, and it'll be available in all good record stores from the 27th.
All right, now join us after the break. We'll be joined by three fellas who are full of fun. I think you'll enjoy them. But before the break, here are some more of those wonderful supporters from around the world.
Hi all, in County Clare, we're on Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Here we are, two Frankfurt Starsters members outside the European Central Bank in Frankfurt.
My name is Niall Daly from the Aero Club in Ennis, living here in Auckland.
Hello, my name is Mary Gainey, Lee Hegarty from Clare Castle. I've been in Australia for 59 years.
And Cork are going to win the All-Ireland on Sunday because Angela Merkel says so.
Wishing all the best to the Clare team on Sunday. It's turned up Nancy the 95, we're going to do it.
Up the banner, woo!
Up the banner!
Up the banner!
Today's women appear to know just what they want.
Would you consider dating an older woman?
And just how to get it.
It's all on the table, it's all above board.
So whether they want to feel enhanced.
People are becoming a little bit more open with their sexuality.
Or be enhanced.
I was starting to get some lines that I just wasn't happy about.
It's all up for grabs.
It's trial and error, isn't it?
Maya Dunphy's What Women Want starts Thursday, September 19th on RT2.
By the end of this campaign, this ad will have been seen by over 1 million people. That's over 1 million people finding out about your service, seeing your product, or checking out your business. And you can reach 1,000 of these customers for less than the cost of a fancy sandwich. Oh, a fancy sandwich. For impact, choose RTE Television to reach your customers. Visit the website for more information. Thank you.
Want a more even skin tone? All it takes is seconds for Clinique to create the look of great skin with even better makeup. Helps diminish the appearance of dark spots and even skin tone. Perfect today for a brighter tomorrow. And now, meet Foundation's new best friends. New Super Primer Face Primer from Clinique. Allergy tested, 100% fragrance free.
Did you know that now at 3 you can get...
You could get all you can eat
All you can eat everything.
Unlimited calls, texts and data for...
Over $39.75 a month. Oh.
All you can eat everything only from 3. It's bill pay as it should be.
At Curry's PC World, we're giving €100 cash back on any laptop $599 and over, making the 6GB Samsung widescreen ideal for students, work and play. Just $499 after cashback with an Intel Core i5 processor. Plus, we've our ultimate student bundle, Microsoft Office 365 University, McAfee Internet Security, a bag, a wireless mouse and more, all for €120. Competitive on price every day. Curry's PC World. We can help.
It's the last few days to get up to 60% off sofas in the DFS Flash event. The Dare sofa is now just €1,039, but only until Sunday. DFS.
My name is James O'Donnell and I'm from County Waterford. We're standing in a field, well, trying to stand in a field of parsnips. This is my dad beside me. We've been growing parsnips for Aldi for the last 12 years. We start work at 6:30 every morning, go picking up parsnips, bring them home and wash them and have them gone off in the lorry and hope to have them on Aldi shelves on the following morning.
Welcome to Horizon, where one clever box changes everything and lets you do extraordinary things, like recording 4 of your favorite programs while you watch a 5th. It transforms any screen into a TV screen. It even suggests exciting new programs you might like and includes 19 amazing HD channels. This is Horizon, the most extraordinary TV ever, delivered by UPC's Fibre Power Network. Now in a bundle with 100 meg unlimited broadband. UPC, the makers of extraordinary.
You're very welcome back. The party is definitely in full swing here.
And it's time for them to meet our next guest. Will you please welcome the big man who scored so many vital goals for Cork, Kevin Hennessy, the man who may be organised for Davy Fitz to return to Clare, Waterford's John Milan, and from Clare, the shy and retiring captain in '95, Anthony Daly. Hi, Kev, how are you? Good to see you again. Good to see you again.
Kevin, you're welcome.
Welcome. Kevin, we only let Daly sit near the cup just so he could get to see it today again. Yeah. Now, these are all good friends of mine, and Kevin Hennessy and I go back a long way. And I just said to Anthony, I met Anthony before and I didn't meet Kevin. And I said, did you ever play against Kevin? And what did you say to me?
I said he was a great player, Des.
No.
He said he cleaned me in a league quarter-final in Thurles back in 1993, 2003. I was going to say I was getting carried away.
And then he says, but sure, his last championship game would have been because I marked him, Kevin. That's what he said.
He marked me all right, me back in my leg against it. Yeah, it was my last game for Cork was '93.
Was it? Yeah.
And he was a lot younger than me, because he was at the full back. He ended up out in the wing.
He couldn't be playing.
Davy Fitz was in goals. He was calling him porous.
That's the truth. That's the truth. The word long and listen low.
John, we were talking about you. We heard you're not as neutral as some would think.
No, I'm not. Huge Clare connections.
All the good people have, John, we established earlier.
Yeah. You can see the benders coming out in the news.
They wonder why I was half mad. It was the Clare blood in me, you know. But no, my mother's from Killalew and my dad, his father, was from Clonlara.
Oh, gee. So
on both sides.
We were a bit unlucky, Des.
If they hadn't gone away, huh?
He would have done corner forward for Clarecastle and Clare.
Well, Kevin, you go back now before the lads, and you had some fantastic times with Cork. What's your outstanding memory looking back?
I suppose I was lucky. I fell in with a very good team, and they were rebuilding after the 3-in-a-row in the 70s.
Yeah.
And we were the next time we read a paper about 3-in-a-row was that this could be the first Cork team to lose 3-in-a-row because we had lost kick in 82 and 83, and we won the 84 one, you know.
Yeah, stuff.
But just playing with the likes of all the fellas that were, and those teams were great players. You know, I grew up watching them.
He's been very modest.
Oh, yeah.
Very modest. I'm going to try and get some information now. People talk about routines and rituals the night before the final, how lads prepare and what they do. What would your night before the final have been like?
Well, we'd be up in the train, and Barry Murphy was a greyhound man. And he'd go out there and he'd be very serious about it. And we'd have to mark off the dogs in the echo for the rest of us who will be back.
And would you go to Shelbourne Park?
Oh, we'd go to Shelbourne Park, yeah. And I remember Johnny Buckley, a good friend of mine, he was independent, and he started roaring up in the stand, "Come on, the black dog," you see? But there was 3 black dogs in the race. It was like that then. we'd head back to the hotel then. We'd have to be back for, we just 11 o'clock for the tea and sandwich, but we'd have a pint or two on the way back. No, only one or two. You wouldn't get away with any more than that.
The night before the final?
Yeah, but you see, then if you lost, they'd say they were drinking the night before.
Yeah.
But the nights we won, we still did it, like, and it was nothing about it.
What did Clare do? Now, you flew up in the morning, did you?
Yeah, we used to meet about 7 o'clock in the morning. Some unearthly hour anyway. It made no sense in some ways, but that was the American flights were coming in to Shannon. That time we had to stop over. And we used to get on the jumbo in from Boston and fly up to Dublin, get on a bus and go over to one of the hotels in the airport and go to bed. And the first year in '95, I shared with Liam Doyle, and Dyler held up his hands and said he hadn't even a minute's sleep in his body from the previous night. And he said, "Did you sleep?" I said, "I slept for 4 or 5 hours anyway, you know." So from then on, I shared with Ollie Baker, and we used to have to, as usual, even if it was a Munster final, we'd go down early, have the breakfast, into bed, and Baker
there were separate beds now. I can see you coming and looking at you. Yeah.
There wasn't room with Baker anyway. You know? So, next thing, after 10 minutes, he'd say, "Turn off the television." And he would sleep, like the gift of being able to sleep for 2 hours like that and get up and then a warm up, and no wonder he was so good.
Maybe that was the wisdom of Kevin's pint or two before, and was that what it was for, to relax you and help you sleep?
Yeah, well, you do what you do every Saturday night, you know. Two at most, I say.
You're sticking to that story anyway. Fair play to you.
And John, would you get nervous? Did you get nervous before big games?
No, but just alluding to what the lads said, I was never one for hotel rooms. And going back to one story there, we played Clare in 2002, and Brian Flannery was roomed with Seamus Pendergast. Seamus Pendergast was snoring so much, so Brian ended up sleeping in the bath. You know, but nervous, I suppose, yeah, it's only natural that you do get nervous. Yeah. It's pressure multiplied by 10, it's All Ireland final day. And I suppose the players today, from about lunchtime onwards today, they'll really start to feel it, you know.
Yeah. You and Davy were together, and were you very similar? Were you very similar spirit and manner?
Manner?
Yeah.
No, look.
I think that is a no.
No, look. I suppose every county has different characters, but you know, there probably was similarities there that, you know, we could boil over at times, and you know, we both had the same kind of passion for the game. But I think Davy, you know, you got to really give it up to him. He's done an incredible job with this Clare team. You go back to 2 years ago when they played Galway up in Salt Hill and they were beaten out the gate, and you know, Clare were in a really bad place, and in such a short space of time, here they are now in an All-Ireland final and 70 minutes away from the big prize.
Yeah.
Having worked with him, having played under him, what do you attribute that to? What is it that he does that can turn a team around, as you just said, from that?
I mean, Dalo will tell you, like, his whole life is just revolves around hurling. He eats, sleeps and breathes hurling. He doesn't switch off. And you're on about sleep. I can tell you for 1 minute, I'd say he's on the Xanax this week, because he most certainly won't sleep this week, because he just doesn't switch off. He has everything down to a T. And, you know, this Clare team will take to the field tomorrow, and they'll be the best prepared Clare team that will go into Croke Park on All-Ireland finally.
But Anthony, in school, didn't you win an All-Ireland with Flannans?
We did, yeah. Davy was just doing his inter-cert at the time.
Yeah, so he was younger than you. What was he like at 15?
Yeah, he was. I didn't really know him that well. Yeah. Like, he was 2 years behind me. You know, I was doing my leaving, he was doing his inter.
Would he be quiet?
He was sub-goalie on the team at the time. He was quiet, yeah.
It's hard to imagine.
Yeah, he was. No, you see, he wasn't the main man, I suppose. But like the following year, I repeated, and he was in goal then for the Harty team, and I suppose it took off from him from there. Like, you know, Clare minor goalie in '89, and like success sense, like, you know, Len Gaynor would have brought him in there, and we made our debut together actually in 1990. Limerick beat us well in Ennis, but he had a good game. He had a good game. I think they only got 1 goal. He defied him, and he was only a young lad. You know, that's the kind of guy. The great story about him was I was manager in 2006, I think, and we'd come very close to beating Cork in 2005 semi-final, and there was fierce expectation in Clare that we might turn them over in the Munster semi-final. Went down, we were raced into a 4-1 lead early, and Cork eventually got on top. And I think they beat us about 22 points to 15 or 16, but they got no goal. And of course they'd given him a bit of slagging on the terrace, the Cork crowd behind the goal. And at the final whistle, he picked up the green flag and waved it at so you didn't pass me, like.
Well, Kevin, we don't meet often enough now, this fella, but he was very ill, and it's great that he's back now, haunting Croke Park and All-Ireland final day. But this fella would have had some battles growing in his day. Who would have been the toughest fella you marked?
Every fella I played, I'm being honest. Like, they all varied. I mean, you have a good day, and you have a lot of bad days. You know what I mean? Every pair is the same. You'll always have more bad ones than good ones.
What about Sylvie and you?
Oh, Sylvie, I have a good story to tell you about Sylvie.
This is Sylvie Linan now, a great Galway defender. From
Sylvie had a reputation of being a hardy player, like, and he was, but he was never dirty. But if he caught you, he caught you, you know?
that's a thin line now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if he caught you fairly, he made sure he caught you. But you stay got. But we had to play a National League game. We had to win up in Athenry, and Galway were unbeaten up there. And normally when you read the Cork team going to work and you'd see it on a Wednesday morning, there would be 10 or 12 withdrawals, and you wouldn't know if it was in the dressing room. But this point in time, they were all turned up. I looked over in the corner, Barry Murphy was getting togged off. But in the winter, he put on more gear than he'd take off. Layers and layers of T-shirts. And we'd be running away and, detaining Jimmy in the corner. But I remember we were up about 4 points with 10 minutes to go. And Jimmy, the ball came in, and I got a call to leave a run. So I pulled, and I caught Sylvie across the forehead, and he was cut. And I remember Jimmy coming out and having one look, and he comes over to me and he says, "Keep running now, but away from me." We went back to the hotel and we won the game, and we went back to the hotel and we were having our meal, and I was coming out with John Fenton and a few of the other middle residents among them, and we were getting our own car back, and I passed Sylvie, and he noticed me, it was kind of a green gut shining, and he had about 6 stitches over his eye. And I said, "Yes, Sylvie, it was an accident," you say. "Oh, I know that, Kevin," he says. "I'll see you next week." So I sat down to the camera and I said, "Jesus, I hit him harder than I thought." I said, "Because he's doting a bit inside." He said he'll see you next week. Fenton says to me, "He will too. We're playing the Oireachtas next Sunday down in Park."
I'd say you were looking forward to that.
I trained a lot that week.
Tomorrow, I mean, obviously for the seniors it's huge, but it's a massive day as well for the minors. Galway are in it against Waterford. And John, it's huge for Waterford, isn't it, the minors tomorrow?
It's massive, yeah. 65 years, we're waiting an awful long time for it. And, I'm very hopeful tomorrow. But I don't want to be overconfident, but they've done very well up to now. It's a massive occasion for the own club. We've three lads on the panel, and Adam Farrell will start tomorrow. So we're very hopeful, and it's low key down in Waterford, but it would be great if we could win tomorrow.
Might be a bit ominous that you're wearing a maroon shirt there, John.
Yeah, well, Claude, you're going back like 92 was the last time these two teams met, and since then, tomorrow's final will be Galway's 15th final in the minor. I mean, that's hard to imagine,
And your wait, this is 48. Yeah.
The winners tomorrow play Limerick in the final.
Kevin says the winners play Limerick. No, it's a great, and good luck to all the minors and all belong to them tomorrow. It's a big day for them tomorrow.
One man who deserves a special mention, Dr. Con Murphy, is involved in his 25th final tomorrow.
Yeah, I was reading the feature in the Examiner Friday, and I rang him up, like. Kind of the maddest fella, but he was always known as the sixth selector. And I remember we played the 92 final in Kilkenny, and we were down a few points. And that time now we were only allowed to bring 3 subs on, not a third-year team. But the thing is, we'd one sub on at half-time, right? Yeah. So we had 2 left, not enough. And Con, as we were making a substitution, the second one, Con came down the line to me and he nodded me over to the side. And this is the second half, and I said, what time is it gone? He says, I do my best to keep you on. You want to shake it up now? So then he brought back up the line. That was con. I got I'm great friends with Con. But then all of a sudden we had a third sub on. Next minute I saw Con. There was a break in play. I see Con come down the line, got me over. He says, Jesus, I said, I can't keep you on any longer. I says, you might blame the selectors. He said, but I'm not going to take off a fella and have no sub to bring on. He turned around the line and shot straight back up.
Brilliant.
It is great. Well, look, you're all looking forward to tomorrow. I know who you two want. John, in a word, who'll win tomorrow?
I really fancy Clare tomorrow.
Davey smile.
Going away from that. And there's all the talk all week that they're going to adopt the sweeper system. I think Clare will actually break away from the sweeper system tomorrow, and they'll go a conventional 15 on 15, and it'll be the winning of the game for Clare.
Okay. One for
last time John was right with 76, his prediction.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kevin, John, and Anthony. Wish them well for tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Now, it's time to find out who tonight's lucky winner is. So, on the phone for our competition, we have Kevin on the phone. Hello, Kevin.
How you doing, Des?
Where are you?
I'm in Liston Barnum, living in Enniston, County Clare.
I'm delighted.
I hope you get it right. What's the winning answer?
Answer is the mighty Banner County.
That's it. Well, no wonder you're cheering. That's $3,000 to Burlington and the Airways limousine to collect you and bring you to the match. Congratulations. Enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Thanks a million.
All right, that's it from us tonight.
Yeah, it's been a great night. Thank you very much for watching at home. All that's left for us to say is best of luck to both the teams and the officials in the minor and senior finals.
Indeed. Now, to play us out tonight with a medley of Cork and Clare tunes, give
good.
a warm welcome to Jimmy Buckley. Ihiwagi.
Yeah, go on, Jimmy.
Oh, my lovely Rose of Clare, you're the sweetest girl I know. You're the queen of all the roses and the pretty flowers that grow. You are the sunshine of my life, so beautiful and fair, and I will always love you, my lovely Rose of Clare. Up the banner! Oh, my lovely Rose of Clare, you're the sweetest girl I know. You're the queen of all the roses, like the pretty flowers that grow. You are the sunshine of my life, so beautiful and fair, and I will always love you, my lovely Rose of Clare. How oft do my thoughts in their fancy take flight to the home of my childhood away, to the days when each patriot vision seemed bright. Ere I dreamed that those joys should decay, when my heart was as light as the wild winds that blow down the Mardyke through Elm Tree of the Rabbit, where we sported and played neath each green leafy shade on the banks of my own lovely lake, where we sported and played neath each green leafy shade on the banks of my own lovely lake. It's a long, long way from Clare to here. It's a long, long way from Clare to here. Oh, it's a long, long way. It gets further day by day. It's a long, long way from Clare to here. It's a long, long way from Clare to here. Boys and you see lads and lassies full of glee. Here's up the mall, set the boys off for hill. Christy ring the ball, we have Christy ball and all. Here's up the mall, set the boys off for hill. Here's up the mall, set the boys off for hill.
After a close defeat to Sweden. Is this the end of the road for Ireland's World Cup qualification?
And all of a sudden, Brazil seems a long, long way away.
Find out when the Republic of Ireland take on Austria, Tuesday at 7 on RTE2 and RTE2 HD.
We only get one birthday a year. 253 steaming off to work days. A few lying in, lazing around days. Several family-together bank holidays. But because Yakult's full of billions of bacteria, unique bacteria scientifically proven to reach the gut alive, there's billions of reasons why every day is a Yakult day.
Here at Energia, we've been committed to supplying energy to Irish business for over 10 years. Committed to providing expert advice and better value, and committed to generating energy sustainably. That's why more than 65,000 Irish businesses choose Energia. Energia. Energy that means business.
Look, lunch is over, so this is over.
Whoa, is this a breakup? Is this a breakup?
Don't make this any harder.
Well, I'm not leaving.
Break up with lingering food. Help keep teeth clean and healthy. Eat, drink, chew. Extra.
All calls or all texts to any network only €15 a month for Tesco Clubcard members. Tesco Mobile. We hear you.
The RTE National Symphony Orchestra. Music to take you to another world. Orchestral and choral masterpieces, film and family concerts. Friday nights at the National Concert Hall and other days too. Tickets from €10 with great savings on 3 or more concerts. Make Ireland's National Symphony Orchestra your weekly treat. See rte.ie/NSO.
Take a bit of blue paint and you put it on your face.
And I've cured cancer.
No, but you're supporting Blue September and helping Ireland face up to men's cancer.
Don't get it.
Right, we'll start at the beginning.
Okay.
First, there was a really big bang. A real man gets himself checked out. So there are certain cancers that only affect men, but they're less likely to face up to them. A Blue September is a month to get them to do just that.
Wait a minute. We used to be monkeys.
Dare to go blue with Blue September, supporting men's cancer charities, sponsored by VHI Healthcare, proud to be helping fight men's cancer.